Why I wrote Agentic AI, My Hopes, Doubts, and Fears. And it came really out of thinking a lot about this technology. And my career working with technology has taught me that the way people think about technology obviously influences how they use it, but also when they're not thinking about it the right way, it can lead to false hopes, misled expectations, as well as like really bad things happening in some cases. And agentic AI certainly is rife for all of these risks. When it comes to my hopes, I am a huge believer in agentic AI. It's already what automating, as a friend of mine said, the parts of jobs that suck. If you ask people what the least enjoyable parts of their jobs are, it's usually the repetitive tasks where you're doing things over and over again. They may be complicated, they may require paying attention to a lot of details, but you're not learning anything necessarily. It's not really enjoyable. And so I think agentic AI is already just being used in a lot of ways to really automate away sort of those drudgery parts of work. My doubts with agentic AI come into how far it's going to go with automating work, particularly in professional jobs. Um, and it really is about the data it has access to. If you look at most agentic AI solutions, including the main sort of LLMs that are fueling this, they were trained on internet data, which is publicly widely available data, which I liken to like a farmer's market. And a farmer's market's crazy, but everything in a farmer's market is designed to be discoverable. It's the same thing for the most part with the internet. So we're seeing a lot of interesting things happen there with data that can be accessed publicly, or that companies will share publicly, even if it's for a fee. Where we're going to see it slow down, and it is slowing down, I've worked with companies that are doing this, is where you're using agentic AI to perform more business-specific tasks that require access to confidential or sensitive information within a company. I like if the internet's a farmer's market, business data is the Pentagon. The data exists, but it's locked in file cabinets behind locked doors in a locked building, and it's stored in all sorts of different ways. It's a lot harder to access, and so it takes much longer to use agentic AI for those tasks where it's really requiring we want you to think like an actual employee in terms of the data you have access to. The third area where I think it's going to come to a crawl is fully automating professional work. And that's because a lot of professional work, the stuff that can already be automated has been automated to some degree. And a lot of what professionals have to do is the stuff that isn't routine. Even computer programmers, where we're seeing, tremendous use of AI for computer programming, half the time, less than half the time of computer programmers is spent programming computers. It's spent figuring out and working with other people on what should we be programming? Are we programming the right things? Are we doing it the right way? It has a lot to do with the things that go on outside of computer programming. And this automating, what do you do with the rest of your time when you're not doing your core job task? That rest of the time is where the real magic happens and where the really competitive differentiation is in terms of expertise and relationships. And while, yeah, agentic AI is being created to help us understand expertise and tasks and works better, it is a long way off from capturing it. And on top of it, experts aren't necessarily going to want to share all the information in their head. In some cases, they don't even know what they know. But they also, you're not necessarily going to share it if they think this can be automated to take away their job. When it comes to my fears of agentic AI, it's really not about professional work so much as service work, and I don't really like that distinction, but I think everyone understands it. When you look particularly at frontline service jobs, those jobs are rife for automation from AI. It's already happening. And that's millions of people, typically in jobs that are paid less than professionals. I get really concerned with this because one, I don't want to live in a world where it's a gigantic automatic vending machine and you never interact with other people when you're going through your day-to-day things about life. For me, part of buying a cup of coffee at a cafe is that fleeting smile from the person who wants to make you feel good getting it, not sort of some uncaring efficient AI system. But the other thing is the the world is better when people take care of other people, and AI can't actually take care of other people. It can act like it cares, but it can't actually care in the authentic sense. And one of the big shifts that I hope will happen over the coming years is we'll stop thinking of AI as people. Yeah, it can act like people, but it's not people. And bad things happen when we anthropomorphize technology and start treating it as though it was another human. It's bad for the user, but it's also bad for humans. It devalues the unique capabilities of humans when we pretend that a machine can replace them. The machine does what they do in a different way. It may seem similar, but it's not the same thing. And that's really my fear, that we need to stop thinking of artificial intelligence as people, because it's not people. Hope you enjoy it.